Hey, good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here this morning. I'm actually upstate New York in a beautiful area. Lots of trout fishing, lots of mountains for my son's wedding celebration. So I haven't been able to, well, I didn't post a few days because of it. Beautiful weather here, a little bit cooler this morning. Hope you all are well. I want to pick up where I left off. I know that I was settling in on the operating table for a long, I think it was a 6 to 8 hour surgery with two surgeons down at Memorial Sloan Kettering to have my bladder removed and prostate removed and some of a ureter removed, and then a new reservoir created inside of me called the neobladder, where they use a piece of the ileum intestine to create that reservoir, close it all up, a bunch of side effects because of it. Just having your prostate removed, as you know, has side effects, many of you know, but a lot of drainage tubes and a lot of recovery time. And that began my 3.5 week or so recovery down at Memorial Sloan Kettering in Manhattan. And just waking up in a recovery room out of it, I think I saw a few people. I think my wife and my brother were there, and I'm not sure who else. And I began the long process of doing recovery. I remember some things physically, like them wanting me to stand right after that surgery, and it's about I think a 12 to 13 inch incision coming up the pubic bone on up, around the belly button. A surgeon who revised it twice actually opened it up more than that, but that's what it was for this time. And I remember, you grab your deal that you wheel around when you're having surgery. It hangs the IVs and everything, and I had, I think, antibiotics hung and saline and just the normal stuff, but. At that surgery, standing up and feeling okay, but feeling like my insides were going to fall out, like they had just zippered up something. And I know a lot of you know how that feels, abdominal surgery like that. But it began a long process, and I was beginning to learn that this journey would require patience. And I was beginning to learn that there's this quality called endurance, and that this would be, I didn't know it then, but this would be a journey of endurance. And the Bible, Scripture, defines endurance, that word, as patience under suffering. So I knew that I began to learn that not to try to hurry the recovery process, including, just let my body, that's been through so much trauma, heal. And I would learn that I would have to do walking. I would have to get up even when I didn't want to and walk. So the first thing that happened to me was the narcotic pain meds did not agree with me. So I basically came off those narcotic pain meds. How I felt was like someone was grabbing me by my feet, picking me up and twirling me around a room, just super nauseous and unable to really walk like that. So started the process of course, anesthesia has things in it, but also the Dilaudid and things that they were giving me, coming off of that. I mean, eventually, in a pretty short time, I would be on extra strength Tylenol only, but I found out that I have a pretty good pain tolerance. Like I can handle quite a bit of pain, but that would be helpful when I had to do more and more walking and more healing. That that patience element really speaks to me right now about also my recovery journey that I've done in Celebrate Recovery. It's a 12-step program that I joined up in a few years before this surgery. This is my 12th year. And I did it because I was in a place of deep hurt with my marriage and ended up in a recovery program, I didn't have like an addiction to alcohol or drugs or porn, but I struggled with some of those areas. But I really, it was a 12-step program for me to, if you know anything about 12 steps, it's really recognizing your powerlessness and turning to a higher power. And then also doing an inventory of yourself. And I had not done that. I've been in the church a long time, but I had never disclosed secret stuff to anyone else. And I started to do that within that recovery context. But I began to find out with that program also, just like physical recovery, that the recovery of my soul and my spirit and self-actualization, that journey would also be a long process and would require a lot of patience. You know, you don't do a lot of those things instantly. They require a lot of tenderness and prayer and just patience, really. So anyway, thanks for listening. I want to get more into what it was like recovering for that first surgery. I would later have 2 times more be opened with month-long hospital stays, but by a different surgeon. Sloan wouldn't be able to handle my case anymore. They would send me out to a surgeon at Lenox Hill Hospital, who I'm still with today. I've been with him for 15 years, and he would perform over 40 surgeries on me. But I would be in the Sloan. I'm still a Sloan patient. I'm a patient of Yale, Sloan, NYU, Langone. Who else? Well, Danbury, my local, but Lenox Hill, Phelps. Anyway, thanks for listening. Have a great day. Bye.